Believe we're live.
Curtis has said that we are live.
Okay.
Look at that.
Wait. It's not a copyrighted riff. It's just 3 chords. There's
That's
nothing.
been used 825 times by all these other people, Curtis.
Yeah.
How dare you rip them off?
Well, so Noah, what are we talking about, and why are we talking about it?
Well, by popular demand, by that I mean 2 people requested it. We're talking about the movie known as Scott Pilgrim versus the World. There's a man named Scott Pilgrim, and he fights some people. He does not, in fact, fight the world, though.
Darn.
All right, I've got comments up. We're rearing and ready to go.
Sweet.
Ryan is still sharing. His share skills are far slower than mine.
Yeah.
I also don't share on Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't really use Twitter anymore. I'll check it for some stuff, but I don't really use it. It's like Reddit. I check up for memes.
Memes.
Some good water.
So, this was the first time I had watched Scott Pilgrim in a couple of years, probably. Thankfully, it's on Netflix, so I was able to
Oh, I just
access
owned it.
easily. Right, I know.
Yeah.
One of those copies, I believe I gave you, maybe.
Maybe.
Steelbook?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was from you? I thought it was from Ryan.
Oh, maybe it was from Ryan.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. It's been a little bit now.
It's been a minute.
Been a minute.
In any case, I don't think I've ever watched it in HD. I think I've only watched the, well,
Standard.
maybe I watched a Blu-ray copy, but it's been a long time.
It has been a long time for you. I think I've watched it at least once a year.
Solid.
Wait, has it been a long time getting from there to here?
Oh, no.
Ha.
Way to ruin the franchise. Bakula.
Yep. Bakula.
Scott Bakula. For those of you who are blissfully unaware, Scott Bakula is an actor who you may recognize from NCIS, one of those spin-offs.
Or Quantum Leap.
Yes.
I was going to completely ignore the thing that he was actually famous for.
Oh.
You ruined the joke. Was it a joke? I don't know.
Curtis, on the drive over here, Noah asked me if I began watching The Expanse, to which I did not respond at all, because I wanted to say, live, I have started watching The Expanse.
Oh, my!
Oh, wow.
So,
And what do you think so far?
So to our 23 subscribers, I do enjoy.
Told you.
But I'm only on episode 1. We started episode 2, and then we fell asleep.
It only gets better.
I'm hoping so. I was very surprised when they had that lady who was one of the admirals from Mass Effect.
From Mass Effect, yeah. And she was also in Star Trek Beyond.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I have not watched that show, I did know she was there. Oh wait, Star Trek
Beyond.
Sorry, I was thinking Star Trek
Discovery?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Don't watch that.
Yeah. But Beyond, yes, I watched that.
Yeah, she was the Admiral in Star Trek Beyond.
So, I've begun. It reminds me very much of, like, a cross between Battlestar Galactica, Firefly. So far that's all I'm getting.
Okay. You're not very far, so you'll get more vibes as the show goes on, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, this is really great. Curtis, you could have these same feelings.
I could. Except I watch Scott Pilgrim, which is why we're actually here.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So I had forgotten the title screen. Universal was 8-bit or
yeah.
whatever.
Mhm.
It was fun.
Universal for a good long while, really liked to do fun things with their title screens. They still kind of do, but it's, I'd say, more subdued now. But for a while, it was like real wonky 8-bit stuff and whatever else was going on. It was fun. It was fun.
Did they do a throwback to like the old version when they did Kong, the Eighth Wonder of the World, the original one with Jack Black?
Oh yeah.
I think they did.
I think you're right.
I don't remember that movie like at all, other than the fact that Jack Black was in it. There was that dinosaur chase scene.
I was watching an episode of
Peter Jackson directed it.
yeah.
Sorry.
I was watching an episode of what's that show called? They do Caravan of Garbage, the something Mr. Daily Planet? Mr.
I know Caravan of Garbage by name. I don't watch it, so.
I keep forgetting their YouTube channel. But they did a video about the 2000s King Kong movie and how that was essentially just a recreation of the 1930s movie.
Right.
And they made a lot of references
Yes.
to it in some way. Like they wanted to... Jack Black's character wanted to hire the same actress that starred in the original 1930s movie to be in this movie. But she was already taken by the same movie. They said that she was doing a movie for whatever the production company was for the 1930s version.
So it's like this huge inside reference to people who know all the trivia about the movie.
Exactly.
Okay.
So.
Wow.
I just remember the park ride at Universal, where your bus gets your tram. I'm sorry, it wasn't a bus; it was a tram. Gets tossed around a bit.
Where did you have a tramtastic day?
I did, and a tramtastic night.
Yeah.
Guess what was also at Universal Studios?
Terminator?
They had a museum where they had Scott Pilgrim's base.
I don't remember that. I probably should. I know. I'm such a failure of a Scott Pilgrim fan.
That was my attempt at a segue.
That was a good attempt.
Do you own any of his shirts that he wears? The Rock Band shirt or any of that stuff? Oh, okay.
Or the 4.5 shirt. Get it? Because he was sort of becoming an evil X at that point. Lots of symbolism. That's very superficial. It's right there in your face.
Gotcha.
Like all the X's. There are X's everywhere in that movie.
Yes, there are.
I'd forgotten some of the cast. I mean, obviously Chris Evans, but then there's like Audrey Plaza,
Brie Larson,
Anna
Kendrick.
Yeah.
The guy who played Superman.
Yeah?
What was his name?
I don't remember.
I don't know. He was in... He went into the CWDC Arrowverse universe, whatever.
Yeah.
The heights of cinematic universes.
Yeah. Yes.
How's Batwoman doing?
I think they recasted her.
Yeah. That
So
should tell you how great that show's
That's
doing.
interesting.
Yep. So,
what happens in the movie?
stuff.
First, why are we... No, I should ask you this. Why do you enjoy this movie so much?
A lot of nostalgia from my childhood.
Ah.
Because I was about 12 when Brett brought this over to watch in the basement, and for some reason, he and Curtis let me just sit there and watch it with them. So I just, watched it back then, liked the movie, because it was like, oh, look, he fights, and he kills stuff, and there's coins, and it's like kind of video gamey, and I don't know, it was fun.
Oh, not even enough for the bus.
$2.40, not even enough for the bus ride home. Lend you the 35 cents.
Oh yeah. Yeah, lots of quotable quotes in this film.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, having watched the movie as much as I have, I could quote probably half the movie.
Hmm.
I remember a point where I think you watched it at least once a week.
I watched it once a day for like a month.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Was that during the same phase as I'm going to watch every episode of Star Trek ever?
This was
Because I remember that summer.
that was a great summer.
Um,
I was in high
Enough
school.
said.
What was I gonna do?
Enough said.
Enough said. I don't remember if it was before or after every episode of Star Trek. I'd have to really think about it. I don't remember.
So have you guys actually read the comic versions?
I started, I never finished.
Same.
Are they lengthy, or did you just not have the next?
They're kind of lengthy.
Hmm.
Were they? They're like pseudo manga. Like it
Kind
is
of.
all left to right still, but it's
Yeah.
like manga style.
That's the idea.
Right.
Hmm.
And when the movie was made, just got Pilgrim trivia. Not all of the books or comics were out.
Mm-hmm.
So after about after he fights Todd Ingram, number 3, the vegan, the movie and the comics really diverge.
Mm-hmm.
But up until that point, it's a very faithful recreation.
Nice.
Nice. So what happens? Not so long ago, in the mysterious land of Toronto, Canada,
Right.
Scott Pilgrim was dating a high schooler. All right, that was the other thing when I was like 13 or whatever. Like there's a whole bunch of like little Zelda references in it too.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, hey, Zelda. Zelda, Tetris. It's a big question. Young Neil.
DDR.
DDR. Oh my gosh, arcades were still a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they still exist, but who goes to the arcades these days?
I'd say well, the comic definitely came out during like the peak of American interest in manga, which is
Oh, yeah.
probably why they decided let's make it
Let's
like
make
that.
it, yeah. And then, as the story goes, no one actually showed up to watch the movie
Yeah.
when it was in theaters. It didn't make much money,
Yeah.
at all.
It's too bad. It's
Then
kind of crazy.
Then it got released to DVD, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, this is great!" It's like, well, you could have watched it, but you didn't.
That's kind of the same thing that happened with
Firefly.
that and the Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, okay.
Not so much DVD. It was be played on TV.
Right. Once people watched it, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Scott Pilgrim is dating a 17-year-old.
Chinese schoolgirl
Yes.
with a uniform and everything.
What's her
The-
name? Knives.
Chow. She's Chinese. Yes, it's like the biggest anime
Mm-hmm.
reference that they could
Mm.
make. It's just like, oh, okay, I see where they're going with this.
And how does all of his friends, bandmates, and roommate and sister feel about this?
They're concerned.
His sister's concerned. Steven Stills is like, oh, okay, nice. Same with young Neil, and then Kim's like, are you really happy or are you really evil? Like, do I have ulterior motives? I'm hurt, Kim. Wounded even. Hurt, Kim. You hurt.
Hey, it's that one actress before she was in Star Trek Picard.
All right.
Yeah.
Kimberly, the drummer for Scott Pilgrim, as we
Hmm.
referenced in our extensive Star Trek Picard.
Are we going
discussion.
to continue Star Trek Picard discussions?
God, no.
Now that
Q.
there's officially a season 2 coming out
just don't-
with
Oh,
With
my
Q.
God.
with Q.
I-
Possible Q. Probably.
What do you
More
mean?
than
It
likely.
absolutely. Ryan, how do you watch that trailer and not go, okay, Q is in it?
They could just like do a big cop out and like have him come in at the last scene of the season.
Ooh, they could do that.
Oh my god.
Or just
I
the
don't-
last episode.
It is kind of tough. You'd think. I mean, they've gone through a lot of like end of the universe, end of the
know.
continuum scenarios. So
It's
I
so
mean,
boring.
yeah. What do you do that's
Where do we go
new?
from here?
Curtis, in watching Star Trek Picard, at what point did you think that these people had new ideas?
Well, I mean, it's kind of new in terms of Star Trek. Kind of. Not in terms of sci-fi and aliens and that kind of thing.
Star Trek has had robots that wanted to take over everything. It's called the Borg. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, cyborgs. Big distinction.
But as Captain Picard stated in the trailer, time is the final frontier.
Right, yes, time. Oh boy.
Oh no.
Maybe it'll get woven into the multiverse.
What multiverse?
With the Timekeepers and Loki.
I was thinking the same thing.
What?
Did you
Could
see the
happen.
trailer for
No.
the Loki show?
I don't
yeah, you
care
gotta see
about
the
the
Loki
Marvel
trailer.
Cinematic Universe anymore. What part of
Owen
this don't you
Wilson.
understand?
Yeah, Owen Wilson's in it. It's gonna be
Okay.
great.
All right. Whatever. They're owned by different companies. It's not going to get woven in, Curtis.
That could happen. You never know.
I know it won't.
We know the Disney conglomerate will take all.
They don't own Paramount yet.
Yet is the key word.
But that means that Picard Season 2 cannot get woven into the multiverse because they don't own them yet.
Yet
Oh
is
my
the key
gods.
word. Speaking of oh my gods, Noah, let me download the
Why are you
all the
bringing that?
soundtracks
Yes,
of
Battlestar
Battlestar Galactica, so that will keep me entertained at work now.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So,
So Scott Pilgrim,
it's dating a 17-year-old.
right, the beginning of the movie. You get to learn about Scott Pilgrim and his friends and his life, and you know, the house where he grew up is right across from the apartment that he lives at, right across the street. Yeah, wow. He has a quaint life,
Yes.
and then he meets that one girl.
An Amazon.ca delivery
Ramona.
girl.
Yes.
See,
Ramona Flowers. He first sees her in a dream because she uses a subspace highway that runs through his brain to deliver packages really quickly for Amazon.
yes.
As she explains in the movie. That happens.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Wow.
then he sees her delivering a package to the library.
And then he draws a doodle of her.
Oh my god, I should have recreated the doodle.
Do you know?
Do you know a girl with hair like this? Yeah, that's Ramona Flowers. It's like a circle with some squiggly lines. Hey, Camo, you know everyone, right? Yeah, pretty much. You know a girl with hair like this? It's Ramona Flowers.
Yes, so they're at the party. At
Right. We've skipped about a quarter of the movie at this point, but
It's okay.
it's okay.
A lot of stuff
A
happens
lot
in
of
this movie.
stuff happens in this movie. And then it just gets going, and you're like, oh my god. It's a lot of people fighting.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the band Sex Bomb.
Sex Bomb.
Did we mention that's
No, we just did.
okay? That's their band. They're not doing well until they enter a battle of the bands.
The Toronto International
That's
Battle
right.
of the Bands.
Yes. And
The first round is at the Rocket.
yes. And they're what's the name of the band that they're going up against?
Crashing the Boys.
That's it. Is that girl also a boy?
Yes.
This one's for the person up there who keeps yelling.
It's called We Hate You, Please Die. Yes! I love this one!
So sad.
Thank you.
It's not a race, guys.
All right, this next one's for the guy who keeps yelling at us from the balcony. It's called We Hate You, Please Die.
Yes.
So sad. Yep.
So we go on and...
Well, Scott Pilgrim, on looking at the scene before him, sees his sister about to ask Ramona Flowers and Knives Chow how they know Scott. Because he didn't break up with Knives Chow before he asked Ramona Flowers on a date, which is a significant part of the plot. So he's like, oh no, we have to play now and loud to make sure that they don't talk about it.
So they play.
So they play.
What's the song?
Garbage Truck?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Knives Chow immediately faints
Yep.
in excitement for watching Sex Bomb play. And then, as they're nearing the end of the song, a mysterious man bursts through the roof.
My name is Matthew Patel.
Matthew Patel, Ramona's first evil ex-boyfriend. Yes.
Yes.
This is so boring.
All right. Didn't you get my email explaining the whole situation? I skimmed it. Nah.
Skimmed.
This is boring. Delete.
So he comes in, he does a Bollywood dance
Musical
thing.
number. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and
After-
they're blowing up the stage and stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because he's got fireballs and demon hipster chicks.
Yes.
Right, yes.
I remember that was a part of the song, My Demon Hipster Chicks.
Matthew Patel has mystical powers. As we learned, Ramona just gives off this long bit of exposition about her relationships at times.
Yes.
Once again, after we get past the third one, not so much.
Yeah, it's
Whatever.
okay.
It's okay.
But they're, so they fight.
They fight. And Scott Pilgrim wins.
Yes.
All that DDR fake fighting really paid off.
Right. I think, watching it the first time, it's kind of surprising, maybe. I don't know. If that's what they were going for, that he's actually, very talented.
He knows how to fight.
Yeah.
I suppose because Matthew Serra does not look like a very...
Yeah, he's not built like a Chris Evans or
Yeah.
anything.
No.
No.
Unlike Chris Evans in this movie, who is built like Chris Evans.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. He wins. He defeats Matthew Patel. He bursts into coins. $2.40. Not enough for the bus ride home. Ramona lends him the 35 cents. And then she explains that if they're going to date, Scott Pilgrim will have to defeat her 7 evil exes. So what you're saying is that we are dating? I guess. Does that mean we can make out? Sure.
Smooth.
Smooth, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
So after this, Scott takes knives out to is it a secondhand store or is it a
Goodwill.
I think it's a
Goodwill.
record store. Oh, is it Goodwill?
Yeah, you see it earlier when
Okay.
you're still in the slice of life portion of the movie.
Sure.
It very clearly has a big Goodwill sign.
Well, they're there, and that's where Scott decides to break up with Knives.
Yes.
It's like,
I'm in love. Jeez.
yikes.
Yikes.
So they break up.
They break up.
She becomes emo.
Yeah.
Is she like hanging out with her friend the whole movie, or is it like a sister?
That's a good question. I don't think that question is answered in the movie.
Okay.
No. I have no idea what you're saying.
So later on,
Right. Well, he broke up with Knives Chow because he was issued a famous ultimatum by his roommate, Wallace Wells.
yes.
Who at one point texted his sister while asleep. He's not even conscious. Wallace, how do you do that? Like, you see him, like, pass out, and then when it cuts back to him, he's got a phone in his hand.
Yep.
Good times, good times.
What does Wallace do for a job?
Yes. Ryan, these questions are unimportant to the plot, and so they are left unanswered.
Darn.
I mean, really, what does Scott do?
He's in between jobs.
Yeah.
He states this several
Oh,
times.
right. I forgot. Oh, and I just watched a movie last night.
Are Scott and Scott's sister, Anna Kendrick, are they ever in the same room at the same time?
Yes.
Okay.
At the Rocket.
Yeah, at the Rocket.
Oh, are they? Oh, yeah. But they're not like next to each other interacting, right?
Yeah.
Are
I
they?
don't remember.
They interact after Ramona goes back to Gideon near the end of the movie. They're on the swing set, and he's all sad.
Oh,
yeah.
that's right. Yeah. I was just thinking of like the time he was in the phone booth calling her,
Oh,
and
right.
he walks into the
Yeah.
coffee shop and she's already out,
Yeah.
and it's like, what?
I have
Anyway.
to go. Is there anywhere you don't work? They're called jobs. How are you doing that with your mouth? She starts bleeping herself.
This was like the start of Aubrey Plaza becoming the super rude girl,
Oh, okay.
I would think.
Yeah, I think she was
think so.
cast for the movie before Parks and Rec had even like happened. So
Yeah.
Cool.
Parks and Rec was... Well, when did this movie come out again? 2008 or 9?
this movie I think was 2010,
Oh, yeah, 2010.
wasn't it?
Then,
2010 sounds right.
yeah, a year later, I think, is when Parks and Rec started. It's
Yeah.
either that year or a year later.
Which means this movie was probably filmed in, like, 09.
Yeah.
So it would have been, yes, before Parks and Rec.
Although I was reading something about the end of the movie, they reshot 3
Yes.
months before it came out.
Yes, after as with many things, they did test screenings, or most movies, and the original ending was not received well, so they went and reshot the ending.
Because in the original ending, Knives and Scott got back together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Once again, the seventh book wasn't out yet, or sixth, I suppose, because the Katinagi twins would be a single volume.
Has there been any
That part always
traction at
confused
all?
me.
Has there been any traction at all ever for a sequel? I mean, it was a financial, not good
Right.
thing. So
No, not really. I mean, what even would be the sequel? He fought the world. Really only fought 7 people, but
Scott Pilgrim versus the multiverse world.
it's been pointed out to me that Scott Pilgrim is in fact a very unpleasant person, and Nega Scott is described as, oh, he's actually a really nice guy. So that's like the proof that Scott Pilgrim is not nice at all.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. Weird to think about.
I mean,
Yeah.
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 What are you talking about? I've only had one drink.
I had like one.
So anyways.
Second date, Scott Pilgrim is very nervous about for some reason, and Walls tells him, "Well, if you strike out, just come and meet me at the castle," because he's stalking Lucas Lee. He was this pretty good skater, now
Right.
he's this pretty good actor. if I strike out, all right, when? See you in 60.
Now you listen here. The only thing between me and something. Yeah, I don't remember it.
We'll get there because the reason he strikes out is because Ramona Flowers brings up the fact that his hair is shaggy. Oh God, I need a haircut, don't I? It brought up memories of his big ex,
Yes.
Envy. She was involved with the last haircut he got by a professional or something, exactly 3 hours before his big breakup.
Something.
So he's been cutting his own hair ever since, 431 days ago or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. So to cover up his shaggy hair, he put on a hat and decided they should go for a walk.
Right.
So they went to the castle. Where they
It was
filming.
mutual. It wasn't.
She dumped him. It was brutal.
Now, their second date, is this when they go to Ramona's apartment and she lists off all of the different kinds of tea?
That was the first.
That was the first date?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And Earl Grey. That's it.
It's a lot of tea.
It's a lot of tea. Hey, when Scott gets there at the end of the movie, he now knows there's more than one kind of tea.
True. So they go for a walk.
So they go for a walk up to the castle. And wouldn't you know, there is Chris Evans.
Yes. Da 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 da.
Lucas Lee
great.
is traveling, and action.
Now listen.
I'm talking to you, Scott Pilgrim. The only thing keeping me and her apart is the 2 minutes it's gonna take to kick your ass. Can I have your autograph?
Chris Evans is so great.
They did like last year. They did the 10-year anniversary table read via social distancing on YouTube, and Chris Evans actually did show up for it.
Oh, wow.
It was really great. He left after his part was over.
Oh, okay.
He had other things to do. He is, big, buff, and famous.
Suppose.
He was less famous back then.
Right. Yeah. At that point, it was.
He was known as Johnny Storm in some
Right.
circles, and
Isn't
he was known
isn't-
for the "It's Not Another Teenage Movie."
yeah? Isn't there a Fantastic Four reference or a couple in there?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I read that if in the it's an Easter egg somewhere in the background. There's some.
I'm sure there is.
Could be.
I'm positive there is.
Have you ever watched "It's Not Another Teenage Movie"?
No.
I've seen parts of it on cable. That's
Okay.
about it.
There's like his character when it's kind of introduced in the beginning. He's walking into the high school, and he's supposed to be like the super popular kid. So he looks at a picture of himself smiling in the school, and then he kind of does this kind of smirk things, and then he walks over to another picture. It's a picture of him looking at the picture smirking. It's my favorite part of the whole movie.
I have so many questions.
It's great.
I have so many questions. I guess we'll never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get Lucas Lee's background story from
Right.
Ramona.
It was the 8th grade. We were in drama together. Actually, it might have been math. I remember there being a lot of drama.
Ha.
Clever.
Clever. Scott, Evil X. Fight.
Yeah, and it's quite clear that Lucas Lee is much stronger than Scott.
Yes.
And plus he's
so
got
Scott-
all of his
Scott defeated the
doubles.
doubles.
Oh yeah.
He's number 2. He has doubles.
Scott uses his brain, though.
Yes.
He knows. He
Can you
knows this
do
guy
a-
can be goaded.
A thingy on that rail.
It's called a grind.
So can you do a grindy thingy now? You serious? It's like 200 steps and the rails are garbage. Well, if it's too hardcore for you. You really think you could goad me into doing a trick like that? There are girls watching. Somebody get me my board.
Big fan.
Why wouldn't you be?
I do enjoy there is just a moment where he like, you know, takes a step over and it's like he's actually counting how many steps. He's
Yeah.
like, wow.
It's the little things, Curtis. So yes,
Yep.
he does a grindy thingy and bails out at the last second at 309 kilometers per hour and explodes into coins. Scott Pilgrim did not get his autograph before he died.
I did hear that none of the characters actually die after Scott Pilgrim defeats them.
Oh,
That they actually restart back at their houses or something.
what?
It's something like that. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I thought that was interesting.
The movie never really explains that.
Yeah.
See, I think there's enough of a cult following that if Netflix or Amazon or somebody, you know, picked up the rights and just decided to make a non-theatrical sequel, but something with still some production value.
Are you talking like a continuation of the movie story, or are you talking
Yeah.
like...
Yeah,
Okay.
continuation of the movie story. If they work with, what's his face, the writer, I can't remember anymore. If that guy ever decided, hey, should maybe write another
I
chapter,
don't think he will.
could happen.
It could.
Wasn't it in an interview he was saying he didn't really want a theatrical make of his story, but I think the quote was, "I'm desperate and need money," or something. So
Maybe. I don't remember.
Brian Lee O'Malley. That's his name.
and I don't know if he was saying that sarcastically or anything, but
You know,
I don't know either.
it could be.
It could be. Anyways, that's the end of Lucas Lee. Then is Todd Ingram. Sex Bomb gets invited to be the opening at the secret show
Right.
of Clash at Demon Head.
Hmm.
All our shows are secret shows.
Yes. So we get to hear Brie Larson sing a song.
She's pretty good.
Yeah, she's...
Assuming that was actually her singing. Who
Oh,
knows?
Yeah,
it
I'm-
was.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
oh, was it really?
Yeah, because she had a music career before she got into acting.
Oh.
I'm learning new things every day.
Yeah. That's
This is
something I
before
learned.
before Noah hated her as Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I hate the character of Captain Marvel. I have nothing really against Brie Larson.
Oh, gotcha.
Weird that two Marvel superheroes are in this movie before they were Marvel superheroes. Well, was Chris Evans cast as Captain America? Because Iron Man was 08.
Well, technically he was a Marvel superhero because...
We don't count the Fantastic Four. That was owned by Fox anyways. I mean Marvel proper.
then
Well, Captain America was either 2010 or 11. So it
Okay.
was.
he would
It
have
would have
started
been right
filming.
after
Yeah.
he filmed Scott Pilgrim. It's just interesting, you know?
Yeah. So they're
Yeah.
at the secret
The secret show.
show.
See that guy on bass? That's Todd.
Hmm.
I know. You know? Oh no.
Oh.
Todd Ingram. He's a vegan.
Yes.
So I was wondering, how does being a vegan give you powers, superpowers? Well, you know how you only use 10% of your brain? It's because the other 90% is filled with milk and cheese curds or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Look, if you did the science, maybe I'd listen to you. They have the bass battle, in which Scott Pilgrim is very clearly outclassed as a bassist.
Yeah.
Right. Dun-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah.
It's like
It is interesting. You don't see Base Off ever.
ever.
So
No.
It was a bass battle.
certainly unique.
Yeah.
And so they fight.
They fight. Scott loses, but once again, his superior intelligence gets him the victory. He tricks Todd Ingram into breaking his vegan edge
Yes. By drinking half and half.
by drinking half and half. Yes.
Yeah, but don't I get 3 strikes?
And
Give him the ticket. Knowingly ingested gelato. Gelato isn't vegan? Look at eggs.
then didn't he eat like chicken or something?
Oh, yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
Chicken
isn't vegan?
so
No
then,
vegan diet, no vegan powers.
So then he loses his
Right.
super hair.
Right. Yes, the hair falls. Then he headbutts him
Yes.
till he bursts into coins. That's the thing that happens.
Then doesn't Scott kind of make up a little bit with Envy or something?
Yeah,
It's
they
a
have
short
moment.
conversation.
Yeah. He calls her Natalie.
Right. It is. Is it? I don't know. It's strange that that's it with her character, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not like she comes back. It
No.
isn't a setup for anything.
Nope.
You'd think that there would have been some kind of setup.
Defeating Todd Ingram is like the halfway part of the movie.
Mm.
It's weird once you realize that. They have a
Yeah.
lot of movies still
Yeah.
to get through.
Yeah.
And they kind of just barrel roll
Yeah, they
through
just
the rest of
they
them.
just push it.
Because, like,
They go to the
Pretty
after
much-
party for the secret show, and Roxy shows up.
and Roxy is kind of there earlier in the
Oh,
movie.
right,
She's
yeah.
like a phantom or something
Yeah.
weird.
She pops up earlier.
Right.
I'd love to postpone there, darling, but I just cashed my last rain check. Where'd that come from? My brain! Oh, okay.
So they fight at the after party.
Right.
And Scott can't hit a girl.
They're soft.
Yeah.
So Ramona has to puppeteer him.
Yes. And there's like some weird like. Does Ramona get like a battle axe or a battle hammer or
Yeah,
something?
she has a hammer.
Battle hammer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what Roxy has this weird knife thing.
The whip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a bunch of little blades on it.
It's like a metal whip or something. Yeah, it's a weird. The movie really gets weird after Todd Ingram. It's almost like they were out of source material,
Mhm.
just making stuff up as they went along.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Well. So they fight,
They
and
fight.
then there's
The weak point is
The-
back for knee.
yes.
Yep.
And she
And then
just
she
explodes.
explodes.
And then they break up.
Sort of. The proper breakup is after. the
Right,
Canty
this
Nagi
is-
twins.
Oh yeah.
This is we should split.
Mm.
You mean like get out of here or split? I hope you could tell the difference by now.
Mm.
I've had like 2 drinks. Yeah, that's that part of the movie.
2 drinks.
Or I had like 1 drink and it
Oh,
holds
yeah.
up 2 fingers. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it at around this part that Knives dyes her hair blue?
That was before
Oh.
the secret show. She showed up to the
And she's dating young Neil.
young Neil, yes.
All
to,
right.
to try and make Scott jealous. Is the implication.
Right.
Does it work?
No.
Darn.
Oh right, Todd Ingram punched the highlights out of her hair.
I was trying to figure out who did that. I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
So it wasn't Gideon, because Gideon's last.
He
Yep.
is. Yes, he is at the end.
Hmm.
Well, we continue with the Battle of the Bands.
Right.
They go to the rave thing.
Yes. The bass or amp versus amp.
Yes.
That sign
Right.
needs more exclamation points.
Means we're on at the same time.
That's impossible. It wasn't.
Yeah, and the big letters in the distance. So these are the what twins? The
Katinagi twins.
yes.
So
Yeah, and so this is where we lose exposition and stuff, right? So it's
Yeah.
just kind of like, okay.
because they had no exposition to give, they were like, we don't even know who these people are. We'll just we'll make them fight. Originally, one of the ideas was to have the Katinagi twins' amps turn into like a transformer and fight like a big robot.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's not. It's not manga enough to do.
or is it? Is it more just manga enough? They like Transformers.
It's true. They do like Transformers.
They like big robots.
But
like,
they also like dragons.
Oh yeah.
And so what's the creature that they create? It's like a weird...
It's kind of like a
I'm
King
gonna say
Kong
it's
ape.
a yeti.
Oh, is it a Yeti?
Uh,
It looked big and apish to
It's-
me.
That's what I think. It could
It
be
might
something
be a
else.
Yeti. I don't know.
I'm thinking Kenyatta,
Oh,
Canadian.
Kenyadians, yes.
So there are yetis in there, I think.
All right. We get to hear Threshold. I think it's the best song in the movie.
Yeah.
hmm.
Oh, did we skip over the part where Scott wrote a song for Ramona?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow, can't wait to hear it when it's finished.
Finished?
Oh.
Ooh. Curtis, have you ever had that moment with Allie?
In terms of me not finishing a song?
Right, or writing a song for her, and she was like, "Oh, I can't wait."
No.
Okay.
Curtis finishes his songs.
Okay, got it. I just remember Tyler would write songs for like every girl he dated. Remember that?
I remember Tyler did a lot of things.
Yes, Tyler
so
did
it's
do a
hard
lot
to
of
remember the specifics.
Curtis, do you remember Tyler writing songs for like every girl he ever dated?
I guess.
He guesses. He doesn't like to think about those days, I guess.
Eh.
Fair enough. I don't know.
What
Keep in
else?
mind.
So,
So this is the 6th and 7th Evil X.
5th and 6th.
Oh, 5th and 6th.
7th is Gideon.
Oh, that's right.
all right, but yeah, so while they're playing, he notices that he's hanging out with Gideon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
And her hair's green.
yes, her hair's... Oh, right. We also skipped over
Oh,
your
yeah.
hair. Yeah, what of it? It's all blue.
It's
Change
all
my hair
blue.
color every week and a half, dude. Get used to it.
Yes.
No, but I love it when they go to the crowd shot. It's like, Ramona's here? I haven't seen her since the other night. Yeah, she's right there. They go to the crowd shot, and then they circle her, even though she's very obvious in the crowd.
Yeah.
All right, Scott got his one-up from beating the Katinagi twins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Very important.
very important.
So he walks over
Right. But
to
then,
confront them.
well, he had to confess to Ramona that he was in lesbians with her.
Yes.
Oh, right, yes.
Use the L word, Scott. Lesbian? The other L word. Lesbians? It's love, Scott. I'm not trying to trick you. And then when he goes to tell her about his feelings, he says lesbians. The other L word.
Yes.
Right.
I thought that was great setup and payoff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Well,
And she breaks up with him to get back with Gideon.
yes. So,
And
that's
then
where
Gideon wants to sign them, sign the
Yes.
band.
Scott
Scott
It's like,
says no. Well, then you'll have to get someone else to play bass. Young Neil's right there. As was established earlier, Neil knows his parts. I'm Neil.
Sign.
Yep.
Thank you. All right.
So they are now signed on to perform at the Chaos Theater.
The Chaos Theater, yeah.
Then that's where we get Sad Scott.
Sad Scott.
All right.
Funk. Funk. Funk.
Thonk. THONK.
Funk.
Like stonks.
Oh no, stonks. Stonks.
I must keep up with the stonks.
Yes. Curtis, do you keep up with the stonks?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What a
Darn.
tragedy. Almost as tragic as the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Hmm.
It's a Sith legend.
There we go.
Is it possible to learn this power?
Not from a
Jedi.
Jedi. The 8th creepy head turn. At what point did I think this guy was a bad guy? I think it was after the 3rd head turn. That's a different movie. So Scott's moping around, and then Gideon calls him to make amends.
Hey.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
And Wallace gives him the encouragement to sick him.
Right. Wallace was gonna kick him out, right?
Right, yeah.
Like, I need the bed.
Right. They share the bed.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part.
I'm gonna need it for the next week and the next
Maybe
month.
a month. Maybe a year.
Maybe a year. Oh.
Ooh.
So he goes after Gideon.
Yes. Password. Whatever.
All
Cool. Second password. Ugh.
Mm.
Cool. Then Camo is there in the crowd, and he's like, yeah, the book's way better than the movie.
Yeah.
If you're listening to what he's talking about, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, nice.
Good little nod.
Little nods.
And then he sees the band.
Scott, it's not worth it. Scott Pilgrim, hey buddy, welcome to the Chaos Theater.
Yeah.
Can I get you something to drink? A Coke Zero, right? I'm not here to drink. Then they fight.
Scott earned the power of love.
Right.
Pulls a sword out of his chest.
Yes. He earned the power of love, yes. You're gonna fight me for her. Was that not clear? Was that not clear?
Oh.
So they fight. And Nige...
We are Sex Bomb, and
That's
we're
the
here
second
to
time.
sell out. And
Oh, right. We're
Oh,
here
yeah.
to sell out and stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. The drummer from Scott Pilgrim, also known as Kimberly, also known as that girl from Scott Pilgrim, as we referred to her in all of our Star Trek Picard reviews, is like has the most energy getting started, and then is like the laziest drummer I've ever seen. Like when you're watching her, she's just like just keeping time. Is like, oh, okay.
Well, I think she had never played drums
Probably
before
not.
then. And she had to, like, crash course learn it.
Probably. I just thought it was always funny, and I think Brett pointed that out to me all those years ago.
So Scott beats all the little minions on the floor,
Right, and then
works his way up.
gets hit by Gideon. Knives buys him some time, but is ultimately defeated, stabbed through the chest by Gideon, and dies.
So
Alone. Right, he goes back to the subspace highway.
You're not alone.
Right, he has he had his one up,
Yep.
his extra life, so he redoes it.
I'm pretty sure that line is what began our text chain, like, years ago.
So
Mm-hmm.
alone. Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So, Scott comes back.
He comes back.
With his one up.
It's like double time. And then he wins. And he makes amends. He fixes things. Learns
Yes.
from his mistakes of his first life.
Scott earns the power of self-respect.
Right. You're gonna fight me for her? No, I'm gonna fight you for me. Scott has earned the power of self-respect.
So he
Right, and everything's like ×2 or whatever, right?
It's fast.
and he and Knives are fighting together, and they go into their fighting
right.
pose when they would do DDR.
Yeah.
And they win.
They win.
Ramona's weird chip
Oh,
thing on
right.
the back of her neck
That doesn't exist in the comics, or I
yeah,
don't think
it gets destroyed.
deactivates or whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
They're leaving the Chaos Theater.
You can defeat me, Scott, but can you defeat yourself? Nega Scott.
Oh, we forgot about the part where Gideon got really mad about how you
You know how long it took me to find the contact information so I could make this stupid league? Like 2 hours! 2 hours!
And then he disappears, and it's just his glasses.
Yep.
I'm exploding.
You are exploding right now. Boom. Then all the coins come down.
Yes.
What is it? 7 million coins or 7
7,000.
million score?
Maybe it is. I don't remember. It's been
It's quite a few zeros.
It was a lot of zeros, and I'm gonna be honest. I stopped paying attention the closer to the end that I got, because I was like, yeah, I've seen this a lot.
So Scott is walking with Knives, and Knives tells him to go after her.
Oh, that's the very end. We skipped over the fun joke with Nega Scott,
Oh yeah.
where
Right.
it's like, I've got to defeat him myself, and then they're just walking out of the Chaos Theater, and they're talking. It's like, we're gonna have brunch next Saturday. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
We have a lot in common.
Yeah. Ay.
Oh, Scott also made amends with what's her name?
Oh,
Kimberly.
Kimberly. Sorry
Which
about
was-
me.
Yeah. And you can hear every time he apologizes, there's like little like up.
Ding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so the revamped ending is Knives Chow telling Scott to go after Ramona, and they go off into the magical door.
He says, try again.
Yep, and the countdown.
Because it's like a looped story.
Insane.
Like a video
Like
game.
a video game. Who could have thought?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a movie. It's got some action in it. Chris Evans shows up. I think it's fun to watch, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's some good choreography and
It's a little painful now looking at Sarah, because he's very clearly like really trying with the choreography, but his eyes are telegraphing where the next punch is gonna come from.
oh really?
Yeah. But that's what stunt doubles are for, when it's the wider shots. Sometimes I even let him do the wide shots.
Yeah. Yeah, good movie.
Good movie.
I was glad to watch it again.
I would say 18 knives out of 7 Ramonas. Whatever that means.
Where does this movie compare with the new Snyder Cut
Snyder
in terms
Cut's
of
better.
good? Snyder Cut is better than Scott Pilgrim?
Yes. In terms of a storytelling movie, Yes.
I'd say
Wow.
if they had...
In terms of an actual like comic book adaptation, Scott Pilgrim is better. I would say Scott Pilgrim is like one of the best actual adaptations of comic book to visual media.
But it's only like half, because
Right,
they
okay.
never finished it.
Fair
Well,
enough.
I shouldn't say never. They did finish it just
Dude.
after the movie came out.
Yeah. You do lose some of that stylistic very clearly in the latter half of the movie, but it's still overall there and still pretty good. But like the first half of the movie is like, oh my gosh, this is a comic book in live action. That's really cool.
Right.
Right. Ryan's looking at something. I don't know what.
Well, this week on Ryan Reed's Reviews,
Oh boy.
IMDb says 7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes says 82%.
Okay.
And Metacritic says 69%.
Oof.
Hmm.
That's okay. Curtis has his guitar out.
What does Curtis think?
What does Curtis think?
Song.
I know it.
Play
I
again?
can't think of it. I
It's
feel
a
like
TV show.
Oh, I was gonna say I feel like I've heard that in a Pixar film.
Oh, well, it kind of sounds like that. No, it's a reference to well, it was the opening theme to a show for maybe the first season, and then it got changed.
Monk?
Yeah.
Oh,
Look at me.
Wow.
I haven't watched Monk in a while.
Neither have I. I just knew that offhand. As being one of the few shows that like changed their theme song dramatically.
Well, there's another show that did change their theme song dramatically for 2 episodes.
Enterprise?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We talked about those episodes.
Yes.
Yeah. Interview Darkly, part 1 and 2.
Good episodes.
You misspelled your.
You are welcome. Do. Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of like Scott Pilgrim's whole vibe is, yeah.
Right.
The character.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decent.
Decent. I'd say it's probably worth at least watching once.
But is it worth watching every day
No.
for a month?
No, it was not.
Are you sure?
Yes. Ryan, I did it. I'm sure. It was a mistake. Mistakes were made. Thank you. She corrected the your.
So sad.
Thank you.
you.
I'm so glad that is actually on the soundtrack.
Oh, wow.
The song is extended to about 10 seconds because they do they say, all right, the next one's called "We Hate You, Please Die." That's part of the song.
Yeah, they didn't like break it into so sad intro.
Sad. Yeah. An outro. Would have been good. Would have been good.
I am so sad. I am so very, very sad.
It goes something like this. So sad. Thank you.
That band gets blown up by
Yes.
by what's his face,
By
right?
Matthew Patel.
Yeah.
So Sex Bomb won the first round by default.
Right.
Yes.
Jeez.
That's right, because I keep forgetting who's the singer. Who's the singer's name again? And the guitar player?
Crash
Crash.
and the boys. Or are you talking about Steven Stills?
Steven Stills, because he was talking about how, like, this band is so much better than us.
Will you stop standing there? You're freaking me out. While they're playing and you can't hear what he's saying. It's just subtitles. It's great.
Yep.
Steven Stills, he's the talent.
23.
Yeah. All right. So next week?
Next week. What do you want to talk about next week, Curtis?
We could talk about Falcon Winter Soldier.
Oof, no.
I wouldn't
Third
mind that.
episode was intriguing.
Yes, it was.
Yes. Fourth episode comes out in a day and a half, approximately.
Give or take.
Great.
Depends on which time zone.
Right.
Could always change your time zone.
True.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know either.
Could start watching Lost.
No. I'd rather watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Curtis, I'm never going to watch it just to spite you at this point.
Oh, well, you're missing out. That's
I don't
okay.
think so. Right now, we could talk about all the 800 trailers for stuff that came out, like the Loki trailer and the Picard trailer and the whatever else came out. I'm sure there was more stuff.
I think there was another trailer for the Black Widow movie, finally.
Oh, yeah, that came out. I saw that. There was a second trailer for the Bad Batch. We might have talked about that last week. I don't remember.
Maybe. Yeah.
There was something for fourth season of Discovery, but I didn't watch that.
I saw some screenshots from that trailer while other people were talking about it and stuff that I was watching. It's really jarring, and it makes me kind of mad that they have more, like, era-accurate uniforms now that they're out of the TOS era. Like, their uniforms look like they belong in the original series more than the uniforms that they wore when they were still in that era. And it makes me angry.
That's strange.
This makes Noah angry.
You can't just have your characters say what they're feeling. That makes me angry. Futurama, you clever.
Yep.
Next week, we'll be talking about The Expanse.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see how we're feeling.
Oh, I was so excited. Oh, I'm less excited.
Like and subscribe.
And subscribe.
Yes.